Somebody says to you, don't worry too much about it because I got it. I got it. That is what God is saying to us. Good morning. Good morning. I wanted to ask a question being on here this morning. Did you know that anything that you desire, you are able to obtain? Did you know that? Because one of the things that I find is that when we understand who our God is, when we understand what He is able to do, then we are able to operate in a way that causes us to look delusional, before men. It's that delusional kind of faith when we trust in God for just about anything. And why I said that this morning is because the scripture that I'm about to share comes from Psalms 24. Now it's been a minute since I read Psalm 24. So this morning when the Lord shared it with me, I was like, God, bet. Because the verse 1 says, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. Now, when a man said to you, like, I have everything, anything that you can think of, you can get. Anything that you consider, if you think about it, I can make it happen for you. When somebody says to you, don't worry too much about it because I got it. I got it. That is what God is saying to us. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the full gamut of everything that exists in this world belongeth unto God. The good, the bad, and the indifferent. Trust me. Everything belongeth unto Him. And therefore, it means that, anything that we desire is possible to be given. Now, verse 2 says, for He had founded it upon the sea and established it upon the flood. Now, God is the creator of the universe. The Bible said He is the beginning and the end. He's the first and the last. Every single thing in this earth, everything that has been established was established by Him. Verse 3 says to us, who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord, or who shall stand in His holy place? Now, here's where it gets interesting. Because while it is that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and you can get anything that you desire, there is a requirement for you to receive it of the Lord. There's a requirement for you to get everything bountifully, plenteous. There is a requirement for you to establish the thing that you desire in your heart, for it to come to fruition. And I want to bring us into that requirement. Verse 4 says, he that hath a clean hand and a pure heart, who have not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. Now you can enter into the presence of the Lord. You can receive anything of the Lord if you have a clean hands. And I don't mean washing your hands every day. That's not what he's talking about. But not meddling into unclean things, not meddling into things that doesn't concern the Lord, not meddling into things that will pull you away from God instead of bringing you closer to Him. That is what he's talking about when he said those that have a clean hands and a pure heart. Pure heart means that you love even your very enemy. You love those who hate you. The scripture tells us that we should love those who hate us. Pray for those who are our enemies. And yes, that might be a kind of a bitter pill to swallow for some of us, but I want to say unto us that that is the requirement for us to gain that which the Lord has established in the earth for us to benefit from. So if it is that you want to benefit from the greatness, the earth being the Lord's and the fullness thereof, then we have to ensure that we have a clean hand and a pure heart. A pure heart means that we don't carry grudge and malice and bitterness and unforgiveness and all of these things bottled up on the inside. And so if you have those things, start dealing with them. And then the Lord will start to cause that which you desire to flow into your life. Verse 5 says that he shall receive the blessings from the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation. He who has a clean hand and a pure heart, he who has not lived in deceit or in vanity, he who has not been dwelling in the unclean things or the things that does not align to the will of God, he who has been keeping the commands of the Lord, he who, and I raise my hand because that person, that is the person that we're talking about, the individual who knows what it is required to sustain or maintain or receive the greatness that the Lord has to give. So this morning, I want to say to us that when we desire a thing, we should already know that God has the ability to give it. When we, when we are praying for something, we have to know that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So whatever it is that we desire, He is able to give it. If we desire money, He's able to give it. If we desire strength, He's able to give it. If we desire cattle upon 1,000 hills, He is able to give it. But there are requirements for us to receive of the Lord, and we have to remain clean and pure and righteous before Him. We have to remain steadfast to His promises and the purpose that He has established in our life. We have to remain conscious to what He has called us into this morning. We have to remain reminded of the fact that we are expected to operate in a certain way to receive of the Lord. And no, it's not God saying, oh, the only way I give you this is if you do this. But it is us honoring His word, us yielding to the things that He desires of us, so that He can bless us in abundance, so that He can give unto us that which our heart desires, so that He can make the things possible for us. Because I know that maybe like me, many of you have been praying. Maybe like me, many of you have desires to be greater, to have greatness within, and it being manifested on the external parts of your life, and not just remaining in you, but coming out as well. Many of you might have had or still have the desire for the finer things, and the Lord is able to give us the finer things, because the earth belongeth unto Him, and everything that exists within it belongeth unto Him. And all we have to do is trust and believe that He is able to give us and supply all of our needs. The scripture said the Lord will supply all your needs according to His riches in glory. It means that we got rich, and He's rich in every way, in every season, in every alley, in everything, right? And so it is for us to remain pure, not being caught up in vain things or vanity, right? It says, not lifting up our souls unto vanity, nor swearing deceitfully, but being pure, being clean in heart, remaining fervent to the will of God, remaining constant before the Lord in the things that He desires of us. And then that which we desire will be given unto us. So I want us to remember that this morning, that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. It means, therefore, that anything that you desire is already in the hand of the Lord. And all you have to do is make sure that we're living in the way that He desires of us, so that these blessings will just be automatic. Right? Just like when you're driving a car and you don't have to shift your gear stick and all of these things, it's automatic. All you have to do is press gas. So in our case, all we have to do is just give God the glory, just keep praying, just keep worshiping, and keep living, so that the blessings of the Lord will be automatic in our lives. Yeah, be blessed of the Lord this morning. And just remember, I am Theresa Robinson, the host of your morning devotionals. And you can find me on Instagram at Theresa_the1, where I share content about how to overcome your limitation and step into your greatness. And it's all about us stepping into greatness this morning, stepping into the will of God, stepping into our purpose, and being aligned to the truth of who God has called us to be. Remember, unbox your greatness, live in your greatness, live in that which the Lord has called you to be in. You can also follow me at Unboxing Your Greatness on Instagram as well. Have a blessed day. And remember this morning, be a blessing to somebody.